My dear friends, I come before you today as a bearer of hope, a voice calling out to those who feel the burdens of life pressing heavily on their shoulders. Perhaps you are standing at a turning point, confronted with trials so overwhelming they seem impossible to overcome. Yet I tell you this, God is refining you, my brothers and sisters. And these hardships are not proof of His absence, they are proof of His nearness. They are reminders of His hand at work. God is about to move powerfully in your life, preparing you for a breakthrough that will shake the very core of your being. Remember this, the Lord never allows pain or difficulty without purpose. Each trial, every season of suffering is designed to draw you closer to His divine calling for your life. He is testing your faith, your patience, and your perseverance, because He has prepared a blessing far greater than anything you have ever imagined. But before you can step into that blessing, before the breakthrough is revealed, you must endure the test. You must show that you are ready to carry the weight of the glory that is about to be poured out. Friends, listen carefully. If you are walking through hardship, if you are struggling even now, know this: God is with you. You are not abandoned. God never forsakes His children. Though it may feel otherwise, you are in the middle of a test, and He is watching not to condemn but to love. He is watching how you respond. Will you trust Him when everything seems to fall apart? Will you cling to His promises when the world around you is crumbling? When God is testing you, He is searching for something. He is seeking a heart that still praises Him in the storm. He is seeking a spirit that refuses to bow to fear but rises in faith. He is seeking someone who, despite adversity and obstacles, will declare, "Though He slay me, yet will I trust Him." Job 13:15. Do you carry that kind of faith? Do you hold that kind of resolve? God is testing you because He knows what He placed inside you. But He also wants you to see it for yourself. He wants you to discover the depth of your own faith. He wants you to rise and declare, "I will not be moved. I will not be shaken. I will stand upon the promises of God, and I will see the victory He has spoken." Hear me well, my friends. God's tests are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to strengthen you. They are designed to deepen your faith and purify your heart. In the furnace of affliction, He is refining you, stripping away doubts and fears that once held you captive. And He is shaping you for something far greater than you can imagine. Your breakthrough is on the horizon, but first you must be ready to carry it. You must have the strength to stand steady and bear the weight of the blessing God is about to release into your life. You are walking through a season of testing. I want you to recognize the signals. There are unmistakable indicators that God is proving you before your breakthrough. And I believe that if you discern these signs, you will endure with courage and grace. One of the earliest signs that God is testing you is when everything around you starts to shake. Have you ever entered a time where it feels like everything you touch falls apart? Relationships collapse, finances run dry, dreams seem to slip through your grasp. You've been faithful, you've labored hard, you've prayed sincerely, and still nothing appears to work out. This is evidence that God is preparing you for something greater. He is shaking you so He can shift you from a place of comfort into a place of breakthrough. Don't be alarmed when the ground beneath your feet begins to quake. This is not a signal of ruin, it's a sign of preparation. God is about to construct something fresh in your life. And for that new thing to come forth, the old must first be shaken away. Another marker that God is testing you is when you are stretched to your limits. Have you ever felt as though you've been pulled further than you can endure? You face trial after trial, and it feels like there is no end in sight. Friends, God will often allow you to be pressed to the edge where you feel close to breaking. He will stretch you beyond your human strength because He wants to reveal that there is more inside you than you realize. You are capable of far more than you believe. You are able to withstand struggles that refine you, not destroy you. God will not place a burden on you too heavy to bear. He will only allow you to be stretched to the point where His power can work through you in ways you never thought possible. When God is testing you, you may notice that people around you begin to misinterpret you. They don't understand what you are facing, and some may even question your resolve. You may feel alone or forsaken. But this too is a sign that God is testing you. He is calling you to rise above the voices of others and stand strong in your faith. You cannot let the whispers of doubt control your direction. You must tune your ear to the voice of God even when others challenge your path. Remember this truth. The opinions of people cannot cancel the plan God has for your life. He has chosen you for a purpose, and no one can strip that away. Another evidence that God is testing you is when your faith comes under attack. It's simple to believe when everything is smooth. But when difficulties come, when the storms of life beat against you, that is when your faith is truly proven. You may start to question God's goodness, His loyalty, His love. Yet in those very moments, I urge you to hold fast. Hold firmly to your faith. Hold tightly to His promises. The enemy will attempt to steal your confidence in God, but do not let him. God's word is unshakable and His promises never fail. You must proclaim in the face of hardship, though the enemy rises against me, I will remain steadfast in faith, and I will trust God no matter what. Finally, dear friends, one of the clearest signs that God is testing you is when He calls you to surrender everything into His hands. Often, the Lord will test your willingness to release what you treasure most. He may ask you to yield your plans, your ambitions, your desires, and to place your trust fully in Him. This is never simple. It demands great faith and profound trust in the goodness of God. But I assure you, when you lay everything before Him, you are positioning yourself for the most significant breakthrough of your life. God cannot bless what you refuse to release into His care. But when you let go, when you entrust Him with all that you are, He will bless you in ways beyond your imagination. So my friends, I encourage you today, do not shrink back, do not give up midway through the test. God is proving you because He is preparing you for something extraordinary. He is refining, shaping, and strengthening you. And when you pass the test, when you remain steadfast in your faith, when you trust Him with all that you have, your breakthrough will arrive. God's promises stand true, and He will fulfill every single one. You will not be disappointed. You will not be abandoned. God will carry you through this trial into the victory He has already declared. So stand strong, stand firm, trust His timing, and know that the breakthrough you seek lies just beyond the threshold of your faith. God is testing you, but at the same time, He is preparing you for something far greater than you could ever dream. You are not simply surviving, you are being made ready to thrive. My brothers and sisters, something profound occurs in the season of testing. When God is testing you, He is not merely seeking an outward display of faith. He is looking for an inward transformation. You may be passing through fire right now, facing battles that seem impossible, burdens that weigh you down, and struggles that feel endless. Yet in those moments, God is working in ways far deeper than you perceive. He is not only strengthening your will, but refining your heart, purifying your intentions, and aligning you with His divine purpose. And hear this, the greater the trial, the greater the blessing that follows. When God allows you to confront something so heavy, so difficult, it is because He has something so glorious prepared for you. Too often we dwell on the pain of the test, but God is focused on the glory that is waiting. He knows the end from the very beginning, and He has already seen the victory that will come through your faith and obedience. So even if you feel weary, even if you feel discouraged, know this, God is shaping you for something eternal, something that will endure the test of time. And though in the midst of hardship you may wonder why God permits such suffering, remember His purpose is always greater than your pain. You may cry out saying, Lord, why me? Why this trial? Why now? But I want to remind you that God is not deaf to your cries. He notices every tear. He hears every prayer. He knows the depths of your soul better than anyone else. He understands the burden you are carrying. Yet He also knows the strength you are building in this very season. He knows that in your weakest hours, His power is perfected. He knows that through your struggles, He is revealing His might in ways you never could have imagined before. You are being shaped by the hands of the Master, carved into a vessel of honor, able to carry the weight of His glory. Think about the great heroes of faith, my friends. Think of Abraham, who was asked to leave his homeland and everything familiar to follow God into an unknown destiny. God tested his trust in the wilderness, and in the end, Abraham became the father of many nations. Think about Job, a man who lost it all, his wealth, his family, his health, yet he stayed firm in his faith, declaring, though He slay me, yet will I trust Him. Job was tested like no one else. but God restored him with twice as much as he had lost. And consider Moses, who led the people of Israel out of Egypt. He spent 40 years in the wilderness, learning to depend on God through every hardship. And ultimately, he witnessed God's mighty hand divide the Red Sea, bringing the Israelites into freedom. These men of faith were tested, and through the testing, they were transformed into vessels of God's glory. And I say to you today, the same is true for you. The God who called them is the very same God who is with you right now. He has not changed. His power remains just as strong today as it was then. If he could lead Abraham through his test, if he could restore Job and raise up Moses, then surely he can bring you through yours. He can lift you to a place of blessing and purpose you never thought possible. But friends, the key to overcoming God's test is endurance. He is not looking for a single burst of faith. He is seeking a heart that will endure the storm. When you feel like quitting, when you feel the load is too heavy, that is the moment when God is asking you to trust him even more. That's the moment you must rise and declare, I will not be moved. I will trust in God. I will not grow weary in doing good. I will stand strong in my faith. And the Apostle Paul reminds us in Romans 5 that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance builds character, and character gives birth to hope. The testing of your faith is never meaningless. It is producing in you something more precious than gold. You are being shaped, molded, and refined to carry God's glory in a way that will touch lives around you. Your breakthrough is not meant for you alone. It is for those watching, for those who will be touched by your testimony of what God has done. And hear me well, my friends, when God is testing you, he is not only testing your faith in him, but also your faith in his timing. There is divine timing in every breakthrough. God does not move according to our schedule. He moves at the moment he knows is best. We often become restless when the answer doesn't arrive quickly, when the blessing doesn't show up on our schedule. But let me remind you of this unshakable truth. God is never too early and never too late. He is always exactly on time. His timing is flawless, and he will move in your life the moment he knows you are prepared to receive his blessing. You may be wondering, how can I know if I am ready? Here's the answer. You are ready when your heart is fully yielded to God's will. You are ready when you stop resisting his plan and place your complete trust in his ways. You are ready when you can stand in uncertainty and still lift up praise. You are ready when you can boldly declare, Lord, I trust your timing. I know you are working behind the scenes even when I cannot perceive it. I know my breakthrough is on the way and I will wait on you. I know that for many, waiting feels like the hardest part. It is in the waiting that the enemy attacks your mind, trying to convince you that God has forgotten you, that your prayers go unheard, that you've been set aside. But hear me clearly, your waiting is not wasted. Every second of waiting is part of God's preparation. He is using this season to grow your faith, strengthen your character, and position you for the blessing that is on the horizon. Do not become weary in the waiting. God is working in ways invisible to you. Trust that he is aligning every detail of your life for your ultimate good. And now, to those of you in the darkest part of your trial, those who feel like you're on the edge of breaking, I tell you with the full authority of heaven, God is not punishing you. He is not turning his back on you. He is preparing you. Yes, you are in a season of testing, but this is not the conclusion of your story. It is the beginning of something far greater. God has not finished with you. He has not stopped writing your story. Your breakthrough is coming, and it will surpass every hope and expectation. So hold on, my friends. Stand strong. Trust in the one who is forever faithful. Know that he will never leave or abandon you. And when the breakthrough comes, and it surely will remember who carried you through, do not forget the lessons the fire has taught you. Give all honor to God, for he alone is worthy of praise. Your testimony will shine as a light to others, a beacon of hope for those enduring their own valley of darkness. Let your life be a living witness to God's faithfulness. Let your breakthrough stand as evidence to the world that God is alive, that he is powerful, and that he remains with his people. Now listen closely, my friends. When you are in the midst of trials, it does not mean God has forsaken you. It means he is refining you for something greater than you can comprehend right now. We live in a culture that tells us convenience and comfort are the ultimate signs of God's blessing. But let me assure you of this. God's greatest blessings often arrive wrapped in seasons of hardship, struggle, and testing. The refining fire is rarely pleasant, but it is always essential. For it is within the flames that God purifies us, strengthens us, and prepares us to bear the weight of the calling He has placed on our lives. We live in a world that longs for instant satisfaction. We want everything immediately, our breakthroughs, our blessings, our answers to prayer. Yet God's ways are higher than ours. His timing is not our timing. And this is where we as His people are called to develop patience and trust in His perfect will. God is never rushed, yet He is never late. His timing is always exactly what we need, even if it doesn't align with our own schedule. We must surrender our urgency and embrace the truth that God's clock is always ticking at the perfect pace for us. There is a powerful truth you must grasp. God does not test you for His sake. He tests you for your sake. He is not trying to prove Himself to you. He is proving His faithfulness to you, strengthening your trust in Him, and preparing you for the extraordinary blessings He has prepared. In the middle of the trial, you may ask, where is God? Why is this happening to me? But let me reassure you, God is with you. Even when you cannot sense His presence, He has not abandoned you. He is right there, testing your faith, shaping your character, and molding you to be more like Him. He is preparing you for something far greater than you could ever imagine. And when that blessing comes, when the breakthrough finally arrives, it will exceed your wildest expectations. As you are being tested, you must also learn to rest in God's sovereignty. Understand this: God rules over every situation, every circumstance. Nothing escapes His attention. Your struggles, your grief, your difficulties, none of them are beyond His knowledge. The enemy may whisper that God has deserted you, that He has forgotten you, that He is powerless to change your situation. But remember this: God is not weak. He is not far away. He is not unaware of your pain. He is sovereign, and He is working all things together for your good. Even when you cannot see it, His hand is steady upon you. Even when you cannot feel it, and He will lead you through this trial into a place of victory and blessing. You see, God is always working behind the curtain. While you focus on the storm, He is preparing the rainbow on the other side. While you face disappointment, He is arranging divine appointments. You may not fully understand how He is working, but I promise you this: He is working, He is moving, and in the fullness of His time, you will see that His plan was always flawless, His purpose was always good, and His timing was always right. The truth is, in this season of testing, God is drawing you into a deeper walk with Him. He is calling you to trust Him not only with the easy parts of your life, but also with the broken parts, the painful parts, the hidden parts. He is asking you to release those areas you have held so tightly and to believe that His ways are far better than your own. This is where true growth begins. When you release control and allow God to direct His will in your life, when you fully surrender to Him, laying down your plans, your fears, and your doubts, you are stepping into a place where God's power can flow unhindered through you. And I want you to hold on to this truth. You are not walking this path alone. God does not test you to see you fail. He tests you to strengthen you. He is refining you like pure gold in the furnace. The fire is not meant to destroy you, but to cleanse you, to strip away the things that would keep you from the fullness of what God has prepared. And as you endure the flames, you will come out stronger, more resilient, and more capable of carrying the blessings He has designed for you. This is not a journey to be traveled in isolation. It is one that requires fellowship, encouragement, and the family of Christ. You were never meant to face life's battles by yourself. You are meant to be surrounded by other believers who will uplift you, pray for you, and help you remain steady in your faith. Do not let the enemy deceive you into thinking you must handle everything alone. Reach out. Allow others to intercede.